When I was a kid, I couldn't wait to grow up. I wanted the responsibility and independence of being an adult so much, and there was one thing that made me feel that way: the mail. Now, I didn't actually get any mail when I was a kid. Why would I? But there was one piece of postage that always had a special place for me every week: the Columbia House catalogue. Every Friday, my parents would come home, drop the mail on the table, and then go upstairs. And I would race over to see that colorful, folded catalog in between all the other envelopes and bills. You see, when I was a kid, my family was super into movies. I couldn't get enough of them. We had a whole collection of VHS tapes, recordings of television movies or pay-per-view, and those Disney clamshells. I had two older brothers, and they would just put something on the VCR every day, all day. So we watched a lot of movies. But once I was through with these movies, how did I find more? I didn't have the internet back then, and that was the appeal of the Columbia House catalog to me. Thousands of movies that I've never heard of at rock bottom prices. And the best part was that each catalog would have the cover art of the movie, so I knew exactly what it looked like and I knew who was in it. Sometimes I would just love staring at the art and just wondering what that movie was about. Especially for horror movies, since I was a kid and my parents wouldn't really let me see some more rated R ones. If you don't know what Columbia House was, it was a flyer or advertisement that would come in the mail every week or so. The big pull was that you could buy an obscene amount of movies for ridiculously low prices. It didn't actually start with movies. Columbia House is just a branch of Columbia Records, and it was created in the 50s as a mail-order catalog for records. Over time, they introduced other formats like Betamax, VHS, and DVD. The company hasn't existed in Canada since 2010, so it's no longer a thing for me, but I believe it's still around online in the United States.
Webs. This kind gets you through big puddles. This lets you shop at home for CDs.
I remember that there were actually a couple times that my parents would give in, and we would all select a movie or a CD and buy it as a group. From what I can remember, we got a couple of Land Before Time movies, some 90s action movies for my dad, some comedies for my mom, and just a bunch of other assorted stuff for me and my brothers. I remember one time when ordering from the CD catalog, we got the Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV show CD, Aqua's Aquarius, and an Oscar winner CD for that year, which included My Heart Will Go On. The thing is, Columbia House was a scam. Originally, the idea was that they give you a bunch of records for free, but you would have to buy a certain amount of records at full price later. Not a terrible deal if you were already planning to buy a bunch, because that's basically half off. Except what happened was a lot of the kids would get these catalogs first. So what you would do is you would tear off the sticker of the movie or the CD that you wanted, stick it on the form, and send it in. Then one day you would get your cheap or free stuff. But kids usually don't have a lot of money, and their parents were still accountable for paying for the full-priced items later. Also, Columbia House worked on negative option billing, which means that you were subscribed even if you only made one purchase. And until you realized that, you couldn't unsubscribe and would just get charged every month until you take the time to cancel it instead of it being just a one-time thing. Of course, once streaming services became commonplace, this already struggling business pretty much died out completely. I'm sure kids today can browse the Netflix or Disney Plus catalogs in the same way, but there's just something special about the time and place and the feeling of getting that bright colored catalog in the mail. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that.
It's the best part of the day. You put all your cares away. Get ready for a smile.